December 14th, 2017. So what you are looking at is a map of California and Nevada, and it's a map showing simulated reserve and corridor system to protect biodiversity. As mandated by the Convention on Biological Diversity, the Wildlands Project, UN, and U.S. Man and Biosphere Program, and NAFTA Border 21. Have you heard of Agenda 21? Well, we're going to update you on that. But basically, some view it as a depopulation program. And it's something that is in effect. And a lot of people believe this is really the reason behind the California wildfires. As you can see, looking at the map, and we look at the Los Angeles area, where the wildfires are running, or have ran, is in this area where there's supposed to be little or no human use. And then when we look up to where the wildfires were around San Francisco and above San Francisco again, the same corridors. So is this related? That's the question. Is this related? Or is this just a coincidence? Well, let's look at the California fire map update. So the Golden State is still ablaze. The original blaze in Southern California that sparked a series of aggressive wildfires across the region and forced thousands to flee their homes remains a Dallas-sized threat, as firefighters have only contained about 25% of the fire. As of Wednesday morning, the Thomas Fire was the fifth largest fire in California history and continues to elude containment as it enters its second week. It has spanned more than 370 square miles, bigger than Dallas, since the beginning on December 4th, and remains the strongest blaze for the firefighters to battle in Ventura and Santa Barbara counties. And of course, there was multiple wildfires. And as you could see, these are the same areas that are shown on the map, ringing around LA. They're part of this corridor that is supposed to have no human use, little or no human use. So a lot of people believe that these are connected, and the connection actually extends to PG&E and extends to the Rothschilds themselves. So this was from back in October, and this is talking about the other fires up in Northern California. So a Santa Rosa couple lost a home in the deadly North California wildfires, filed a lawsuit against PG&E, charging the company failed to properly maintain its power infrastructure. Recent reports have cited PG&E's power lines as a possible cause of some of the current wildfires in the state's wine country. PG&E responded Wednesday, saying it won't speculate on the causes of the fires, but will cooperate with the reviews of any relevant regulator or agency, which of course, when you have the power and the money of PG&E and the Rothschilds behind you, you can control any sort of reviews. So the death toll at that time had grown to 42 in those fires. And this is a truth wiki on Deborah Tavares. Now, she was an activist, and I say was because we're not sure where she is now. Nobody has been able to locate her for several years, at least not publicly. She was definitely very outspoken activist that was really concerned with Agenda 21 and smart meters. She said that the smart meters put to read the electricity in homes were actually putting off tremendous EMFs that was damaging people's health and significantly challenging their well-being. She appeared on Alex Jones as well as Jeff Rentz and many different shows, and speaking out against PG&E, against the smart meters, and against Agenda 21. And she got so involved, and she actually went to the Bohemian Grove in 2011 with Alex Jones, and she was nearly killed when a speeding car slammed into the car she was in. And now nobody has seen her publicly since 2015. However, so much of what she had talked about and warned about is coming true. And this is a picture of her. I'm going to put the links in. I won't play the whole interview. It's pretty lengthy. But I'll put the links in so you guys could go ahead and, check it out on your own time. I was listening, and it's very, very compelling. And it does seem to be a little bit much to be a coincidence. But she had said that Agenda 21 plans to burn up California, and that's how they're going to get people out of the zones they want them to be out of. Very, very, very interesting stuff. She had an interview with Jeff Rense in 2015 and conclusively provided documented proof of premeditation in the fire destruction of Sonoma and Mendocino counties in Northern California using microwave weaponry. And again, that's what we had said in previous video. Are these fires being started by DEWs, by microwaves, by lasers, being purposely started? And this is something she said back in 2015, and I think she first came on talking about this back in 2011. Additionally, RFID trackers are being used to locate victims in the vaporized rubble that is left of former residences. Part 2 will cover the logging company's efforts to provide massive fuel for West Coast forest fires using hack squirt tree destroying methods of the Fisher brothers of Levi Strauss Jeans and Gap Stores fame. And it's all part of Agenda 21. And, directed energy weapons is what she said back then was going to be doing this. And this is PG&E, and it shows our team, Roger H. Kimmel, Vice Chairman of Rothschilds, Inc., PG&E Corporation Board of Directors. So Roger Kimmel is the Vice Chairman of Rothschilds, Inc., international investment banking firm, and has held that position since January of 2001. Prior to joining Rothschilds, Inc., he was a partner in the international law firm of Latham and Watkins, LLP. He has been a director of PG&E Corporation and Pacific Gas and Electric Company since 2009. He's also the non-executive chairman of the board of Endo International PLC, global specialty healthcare company. They have their hands in everything. And this is an article on expermaculture.com, and it's again talking about Deborah Tavares and the plan to burn up Northern California. Gets into it in detail, and it's really, the whole NWO, it's the cabal led by the Rothschilds and the usual group, and this is all part of their plan. And in effect, it's far scarier than just California burning, as if that's not enough. It gets into all sorts of high-tech stuff that's being done. It's known that PG&E has technology themselves for weather modification, and it gets into that detail that they have the ability, and it says they have the ability to beam waves, energy waves, down themselves. And so they could themselves, be starting these fires, and then also putting the smart meters in the homes, which are going to get us sick. And not only are they going to get us sick, but these things interfere with our thoughts, our own vibrations. We are energetic beings. So when you're exposed to a certain frequency that's destructive, it'll ruin your health. It'll also make you not feel good mentally as well. It could affect your entire mental state, just like consuming vast amounts of fluoride make you complacent. And it all ties back to the Rothschilds and the cabal. And this is how deep they have their control in so many different avenues of our life. It's totally, they're controlling it from all sides. And it's up to people to be more like Deborah Tavares and to speak out. But then when you speak out, then you are risking the chance and the danger of drawing attention to yourself with people that can, order a hit like nothing, like ordering a pizza. So, you're definitely endangering yourself when you speak out with these things. And again, I'm going to put all the links down here. It's scary stuff, very, very scary stuff. And this is her website, stopthecrime.net, and I'll put a link for that. And it hasn't been updated since 2015. So we don't know where she is. I don't see anything explaining what happened or why she's not an activist anymore. And so this is off your Newswire, and it's showing a map which shows the population by 2025, and this is tied to Agenda 21. And I'll show you a close-up of the map in a moment. It's some scary numbers, so you have to say, what is going on here? How can the population drop so drastically in certain areas so quick? But part of this whole thing is the thought that the elite want North America entirely to themselves. They don't really want there to be an active population of quote-unquote free citizens in North America at all. It's going to be their playground. It's going to be an off-limits zone. So this map gets into that. And when we look at it, it shows the population of the United States reduced by 79.7%. Mexico 3.5%. So a big difference there. The population of Canada down 29%. Puerto Rico 71%. Well, I think Puerto Rico's population has probably already dropped 25% from the people that left it from the hurricane, right? I would say that's pretty accurate. And then we look at other populations. Now, the population of South America grows. So it's almost like whatever people are left, you're better off heading down towards South America. So that zone grows, dramatic reduction in population up here. 80% of the United States population, that's like 250 million people. Where are they? Where'd they go? It doesn't show that type of an increase in this map to account for that. And look at Europe. Iceland 58%, Ireland 68% down, UK 64% down, France 34%. Look at these numbers. Greece 69%, Turkey grows up 8.5%, Israel down 63%, Saudi Arabia 13%, Egypt, Libya down 46.9%, and we know what's going on with Libya with the Arab Spring and everything that happened there. Look at these numbers. Now Russia only down 3.9%. Poland down 8%. Kazakhstan grows. Mongolia grows. China grows. India grows. And India and China, I mean, those are huge population centers. So that would lead you to think that they're not under the control of the cabal. South Korea down 19%. North Korea left blank. Australia down 60%, Japan down 63%, New Zealand down 25%. Africa is a mixed bag. Some populations down, other ones up. So this is a scary map. So what is going to happen now? Well, if there was a World War III, if there was a preemptive military strike, like a preemptive nuke strike from Russia, perhaps that would explain the numbers. You'd have most of NATO pretty wiped out, and the United States pretty wiped out, and some of Canada along the border. That would probably explain these numbers pretty easily. And if there was no real retribution back towards China, that would explain that. And the Russians losing 4%. They do have civil defense bunkers for their citizens that can house up to 100 million people, I believe I've read, somewhere between 80 and 100 million people, being that they only have 140 million or so. That's a pretty good percentage of their population, where the United States has none, zilch, nothing to protect its population. So, think about the eclipses. The eclipse that we had this year one line going across, the other eclipse that's coming, the other line going across, symbolizing maybe the taking down of the United States. And here we have the Agenda 21 population plan. Are they telling us what they're planning on doing? Is war going to start here in the Middle East that's going to lead to a nuclear attack on the United States, wiping out 80% of the population? What do you think? How do you explain this map? So I look forward to everyone's thoughts on this. This is some serious stuff here. Definitely put your comments out. Let us put our combined thoughts and heads together. And just how concerned should we be with all this? If you found this interesting, definitely do a thumbs up. This is one that we should definitely make viral, share with as many people as possible. Wake people up to what's going on, because it feels like we're getting close to something, don't you think? And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe for further updates so we can stay on top of everything. And I thank you so much for joining the Evolutionary Energy Arts growing family. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Stay safe out there.